Welcome to the Ken Briggs podcast. Today we're going to talk on several different things on the metal detecting. One is safety, and one is going to be construction season. One is research, one is farm fields, and the other one is when asking for permission to treasure hunt people's yards. We're going to start out with the safety issues today. When you're out metal detecting, make sure you have all your safety issues taken care of, such as leather gloves. I say leather gloves because of the fact the cloth gloves and the rubber gloves have a tendency to get cut on glass and sharp metal objects when a person is out metal detecting. So leather gloves are going to protect you a lot more. When it's hot out, drink water. Have a bottle of water with you or in your vehicle or whatever the case may be. Also, if you're allergic to bee stings, always have your medicine with you, your bee sting kit. Wear a hat to keep the UV rays off your head and try and limit sunburn so you don't get skin cancer. And now that the construction season is upon us, I'm going to talk about a few issues that happen even in our area. People are hunting in the road tear-ups and the sidewalk tear-outs while the construction workers are on scene with the big heavy equipment. That needs to stop. Because if someone gets hurt in these construction zones, who's liable? It's going to be a problem if someone gets hurt or killed. They're going to shut these streets and sidewalks down for metal detecting permanently. No one will be able to hunt them. So it's best to wait, like I do, until they're done working for the day. When the equipment gets shut down, then have at it. But use common sense. Don't just go up and ask the foreman if you can hunt while they're working. Those drivers don't want to be able to watch out for you. They've got a job to do. They're under a contract to get it done at a certain time, and they're generally in a hurry to get that stuff done. So give them people a break and stay out of the construction zones until the evening hours. Research. This also comes with hunting construction sites and things like that. Do your research ahead of time where you plan to hunt, whether it be old parks, beaches, streets. The fact in Wisconsin there's no water hunting on any state lands, parks, and waterways. You have to be off 100 feet off the 100-year floodplain of all waterways, unless your lot line goes out into the waterway for your own property. That's the only time you can hunt that. So a lot of these people, the newbies I should say, they buy a metal detector online because it's cheap and just go out and start digging places where they have no clue what they're doing. That hurts the whole hobby as a whole. They need to do their own research. And that also comes down to social media. I know there's a few people that have different feelings on this, but my own personal feeling is if you have a location that you've done research on and you're hunting it, don't blast it all over social media because you're going to have a ton of people coming to that location and they're going to clean it out and you won't have an opportunity to finish digging where you're digging. The last couple of years I've noticed in our area that the construction companies are digging deeper on the boulevards than what they normally used to. They go down a couple of feet and take out all the relics and coins, jewelry, and whatever else into these boulevards and streets to where we won't have an opportunity to find a lot of items. I have a feeling that in the next few years, if this continues, there will not be any street hunting or boulevard hunting. It will be a thing of the past. So check with your local city hall and see if the street that they're working on has been replaced previously. Some of the city streets here in our city have been replaced and they're digging them back up again. If that's the case, then you know that there's a lot of base course that has been brought in and you're not going to find a lot of stuff because it's already been dug up and hauled out. I enjoyed it back in the 60s and 70s when I started hunting. A lot of this stuff, when they dug the streets up, they only took out the blacktop and left the good stuff until we could get in and search it. They piled up the blacktop and then hauled it out, and the dirt was accessible to us. I found a lot of old coins and jewelry and silver back then. Not finding as much now as I did back then. During the fall time, when these construction companies are in a hurry to finish up their contract jobs, a lot of times if the contract job is 7, 8 blocks long and they are in one end of the construction zone, generally a person can check with the foreman and be in the opposite end of the street and nowhere's near the construction equipment that's running. So just take a minute and do your research. Farm fields. Right now, the farmers are in a hurry to get their crops in. The best time to hit farm fields, if that's what you do, is the fall or the spring before farm season starts. Years ago, people walked across this country or rode in wagon trains and was on horseback and lost a lot of things. They never had roads per se like we do now. So any fields is a possibility of finding good things. And that comes back down to doing research. A good place to check is Sanborn maps. You can check and see where the old homes used to sit with the Sanborn maps or the aerial historical maps. Sanborn maps are free. Historical aerial maps, you have to pay for that program. But they're both good. It shows the old places that once sat on the property by a little black square. So if you're really into this and want to check and find out how old the home was in that area, check these two different locations, the Sanborn maps and the historical aerial maps. The next thing we're going to do, and the last thing, is asking permission to hunt people's property. Do not, and I repeat, do not, go up to the door with a shovel and your tools in hand. Be cordial. Introduce yourself. Hi, I'm so-and-so, and I have a hobby that I search for relics and old coins from years gone by, and I would like to know if I could search your property. I will show you the items that I found. I will obtain the targets in the most professional manner. In other words, don't dig a bunch of holes. If they say no, thank them for their time and leave. Do not try and change their mind. Don't get into an argument with them. Let them know if they should change their mind, they can contact you. What I do is I leave my business card and then I leave the area. Down the road, they may call you and give you permission. Or they might have lost an item in the yard and they just remembered that you came to their door, asked to treasure hunt their yard. They will generally remember that. I've been doing this job, well, it's not a job, it's a hobby, for 54 years. I have wrote one book on it. It's called Treasure Hunting Street and Sidewalk Tearouts, and I'm working on a second book right now. Tips, tricks, and tricks. Can't even talk today. Tips, tricks, and how to locate treasures. That will be coming out hopefully this fall, if I can get it all done. But there's a lot of information I've been gathering, a lot of pictures I've been gathering. I have a lot of the pictures and the information I've done for the last 54 years of hunting. But life is busy. I own 2 businesses. Here where I work is Chippewa Valley Lock and Key and Ground View Metal Detector Sales and Rental. My book, Treasure Hunting Street and Sidewalk Tear-Ups, can be gotten on Amazon, KDP Book, or contact my office here in Chippewa Falls at 715-577-0235. If you have any questions at all, my email, kenny@groundviewmetaldetectors.biz. That's B-I-Z. Or give me a phone call, and I'd be glad to talk to you. If I can help in any way of teaching metal detecting to you, just reach out to me. I do a training session generally once a year. This year it looks like we're going to have 2 because we have so many people that want to go through it. We'll have 2 training sessions. The training sessions are $50 per person, and we supply the dinner. It's for an all-day long training session. In the morning, I go through 50-plus slide presentation for PowerPoint, and then we break for dinner. And then in the afternoon, we go out with your metal detectors. I have targets set up, and you learn what your detector is telling you. I also have 2 stations that we have set up for proper digging techniques and retrieval of a coin with a coin probe. That's a feat in itself. I've been doing this for 54 years, so I'm pretty well versed in how to do that, and I try and teach people so they don't have to dig a great big crater to get a target. We go over a lot of things from history to equipment to coils, what the differences are. So if we can help you in any way, please reach out to me. Other than that, have a great day, God bless, and good luck hunting. And thanks for listening.